Good morning. It is day 40 on the Continental Divide Trail. So today I am beginning my last section for this year, which starts at Wolf Creek Pass and ends at Spring Creek Pass near Lake City. So let's hike.
My name is Michelle Bentley. I'm a retired Houston firefighter and empty nester who loves to get out and explore God's beautiful creation. For years, I've dreamed of hiking from Mexico to Canada on the roughly 3,100-mile Continental Divide Trail, the most remote and rugged of the long-distance trails in the United States. This year, with the support of my amazing husband, I'm beginning this epic solo journey. I love to share my adventures, so come and hike with me.
Back at Wolf Creek Pass, and I'm going to be starting the segment that heads towards Lake City. Right, I crossed 160 and I'll be climbing up from here. Most of this trail is above 12,000 feet until I get back close to Lake City. So this is very high elevation. I've done the first probably day and a half, 2 days of this trail last year. So I kind of know what's up ahead. It's really beautiful. And then there's a section after that I haven't done. And then as it gets closer to Vallecito Creek, I've done a section in there. And then I've done where it rejoins the Colorado Trail. I've done that section, but coming southbound. So a lot of this section I've done in the past, but it'll be fun to see what it looks like this year and do it all in one stretch, as opposed to all broken up in pieces. It's my first little deer of the morning. Hiding right there in the trees, your little, hi. Oh, there's several of them right here. Hi, guys. All right, so I've already climbed up quite a bit. That's 160. There is the sign in the parking lot that I started at on the trail. And then if you look up, that's Alberta Peak. And that is the ski lift that I hiked to before dropping down. Just neat to kind of see where I came from along that ridge. Last year when I hiked this, it was a very stormy day and this was all in fog, so I haven't seen a lot of these views. So it's kind of like hiking it for the first time. Right, I made it up my first little climb, getting my first view. Like I said, I couldn't see all this last time. I was sucked into a cloud. It's a beautiful morning. This section, it's 116 miles or somewhere around that. And it's probably some of the most beautiful trail in Colorado. The last section was amazing, but this section is just incredible too, if not even more so. So I'm excited to share it with you. All right, I am coming up on the Weminuche Wilderness area in the Rio Grande National Forest. And that's about 2.7 miles in. So I think I'll stop real quick, go to the bathroom, and then keep on hiking. Pretty little meadow with a nice view. I dropped a little bit after, oh, I heard it grouse. Dropped a little bit after reaching the wilderness boundary, but I will start climbing. That is one thing on this section. There's a lot of elevation gain each day, Usually it's between like 4,000 to over 5,000 feet. So my legs have their work cut out for them. But my pack feels surprisingly light, even though I weighed it with food and 2 liters of water. It's 34 pounds starting out, but it doesn't feel bad at all compared to what I was carrying for the last section when I had my ice axe and micro spikes. Man, and I also just didn't eat very much food, and so I was carrying my food for so long, but I have more of an appetite so far, so hopefully I'll keep it and my pack will get way lighter. There's another pretty open area. Just a big open meadow in between sections of beetle kill forest. It's so sad. See how many trees are affected. Fortunately, there have not been a whole lot of trees down on the trail. A few, but not worse than what I had back before the Wolf Creek ski area. And the trail has started climbing back up through the forest again. Just finished a series of switchbacks. And going from memory, which is difficult because again, it was so different the last time I hiked through here, just with all the clouds. I think coming up very soon is where I encountered my first snow last year. And I don't see any snow out here right now, so that will make things a lot easier. Yep, last time I came through here, this was all a snowfield. And then I had several snowy traverses up ahead through like some pine forest, spruce forest stuff. But yeah, looks like I'm not gonna have to deal with that. I think I'm gonna see some nice wildflowers out here too. It's not quite the peak, but they're sure starting to pop out. Oh, this is some gorgeous mountains. Well, the trail's a little soggy, so I'm doing some rock hopping over some of the muddier, wetter areas. But it sure is green. There's a little snowmelt pond. Beautiful section. With all the greenery, it looks like a rock garden. And a pretty view out. Wow, it's really beautiful. I know the camera doesn't pick up the depth enough. I remember this. This is a really pretty lake. Let's see. Pop up here. And there it is. Beautiful backdrop. Pretty rocks around it. And overlooking it. Really pretty. Oh, I'm sorry guys. I have a feeling this is going to be another long video. But man, I can't help myself. It's like a little window looking out over the ridge. Before too long, probably within the next couple of miles, I'll be getting to my first big lake. And shortly after, I'll start my first really big climb. I remember that one. So there's a lake right back there. It's pretty good size because I'm a ways from it. I remember this too. This was a pretty scary snow traverse last year. This big grassy meadow, it keeps going. Surrounded by my big mountains. Well, the trail has become really muddy. And there's a little stream running down it. I can kind of step to the side of it. Keep my feet dryish. Should get better up here. I was right about wildflowers starting to pop up though. Lots of different kinds spread through here. Some paintbrushes, bluebells. Really beautiful, all the bluebells. You can see where my trail had come across, right there. Hiking through the forest. Blowdowns have not been too bad. A lot of them have been cut and cleared, and the few that have been on the trail have really established paths around them, so it has not been that challenging. Another little rocky traverse section. Boy, these are nicer than the traverses I had to do so far on the South San Juan side. The trail was like a third as wide and slanted down the slope. So I was pretty much terrified during the entire traverses. Look how pretty these flowers are. So that's the last rock section that I climbed or crossed. And then there's a lake right there. I didn't even see it. It was hidden. Cool. All right, I'm almost to the lake I'm aiming for though. Should be seeing it here in the next quarter mile to half mile, and then descend down to it. And that's where I will grab some water, because it's a while before my next water source, and then I will start my first real big climb for the day. So my lake is right tucked down in here. We'll see it soon, and that is the mountain that I'm climbing, and I can actually see my trail. Let me see, it's going across. It goes right across there and up and over. And then I walk a ridge line for a while, so that's gonna be fun. All right, we made it to the lake, and there's actually a couple of guys out there fishing. So I'm gonna grab my water and keep going, because today is my highest rain chance in the afternoon, and I see a few clouds that look like they're building over there, so I want to try to get over that climb and off the ridge line. And then just up a little rise, there's another lake tucked back in here, and my climb and pass. See some clouds, but they don't look too threatening yet. They do look like they could build, so definitely want to try to knock this out. I hope I get decent weather this afternoon, because there's 2 more big climbs I'd like to knock out this afternoon. And then it really doesn't matter where I camp after that. So I'm hopeful. If it does rain, hopefully it'll be not where I'm at. This is literally my trail. Oh my goodness, can't even see my feet. Not exactly short. This is so hard because I don't know where we're going. Come on. I'm shuffling my feet, hoping they stay on trail. Come on. Oh, rocks. see we're opening up ahead. Almost there. So glad these are dry. Otherwise I would be soaking wet right now. Okay. Willows, willows. You always got to check your bag, things in the side pockets after you come out of these things, because they like to grab stuff. All right, here's my climb. Well, I've been climbing, but here's the final approach. I'm gonna just do a little switch back here, and then it just climbs up and over that. Oh, I'm winded. I am quite certain I'm over 12,000 feet, especially at the top of my climb. I'll check it when I get up to the top. Boy, this is a climb. See my trail down there. And there's the second lake. The first lake is back where you see that snow. Thin air up here. That's a steep final climb. I finished the climb, and will you just look? Oh my goodness. Beautiful, beautiful views. Like, Colorado's beautiful. Like, all of Colorado's quite pretty. And at least all the mountains. But the San Juans, there's just something extra special about them. Oh man. It's so gorgeous. I'll check the elevation here and let you know where I was at. Well, I'm up at 12,550. So that would be why I'm huffing and puffing. Now I get to walk a ridge for a while. So here's the ridge I'll be walking for a while. And let's see right here. I can look back. Here's the back side of the mountain I just climbed. Really pretty. You can see there's a burn area down below me on that hillside. I think ridge walks are my favorite. Okay, my trail came down from up there. Now I'm just traversing this big hillside. And pretty soon I'm coming up on where there's an alternate that drops down to Creed if you want to bypass the rest of the San Juans, but I do not, so I'll keep going. But I'll show you where that cutoff is up ahead. So I can see my trail traversing over here, so going onto that ridge. I think for once the CDT is not the higher route. I think mine stays lower on this traverse. Yep, I remember this. Still making my way on this ridge. And pretty soon is that junction, and also I start descending down for a bit before I start my big climbs. There is some weather kind of building back over there. I don't know. Can't really say which way it's moving yet. I hope it stays away. Because that's one thing I would not want to start the big climbs if it's going to come over me, because I'll be up completely exposed for a couple of hours. And up at 12,800 feet. Still haven't made it to the intersection. I had a little climb up. And I remember it is soon. It was marked, unless the marker got knocked off. But it's not too far. Little snow patch out to the side. Nothing on the trail. And it says that Creed cutoff is half a mile from here, so let's be up this next little hill. Wind always seems to kick out these ridges, but this coming up ahead is finally that intersection junction for the Creed cutoff. See, the sign looks like it fell down. I guess it takes off this way, so I think they just kind of scramble down here. And at some point reach trail and a road that'll take me to Creed. And then the Creed cutoff eventually links back up with the CDT after the San Juans. And so it goes that way. Yeah, the sign just fell down. Okay. I gotta climb over those big mountains. So hopefully the weather is moving away so I can do that. This is so pretty. Look at these flowers. I feel like right here it looks like, I don't know, like parts of Great Britain, or like Scotland or something. Oh, look at these flowers. Gosh, this is just amazing. These flowers grow right into the rock. Finally, I'm starting to descend. That's a pika. There it is by the plant now. It's so camouflaged. That's right. The edge of the plant. Let's see if it moves. Beep! There it goes. They're so fast. So, I'm at the place I camped last year. This is not where I'm stopping because it's still pretty early in the day. I mean, in the afternoon. But I am going to sit here, have my lunch, and immediately after this, I start climbing, and I have, gosh, the biggest climb of the day, and even of, I don't know if it is of the whole section, but it's a biggie. So rest a few minutes, and then I'll get going. Right down there is where I was sitting having lunch a few minutes ago. See some dark clouds that way. There's a dark cloud there, but it's not making noise. And it seems to be moving off. I'll be able to see it better when I get up higher. Oh, this is like the first of the climbs. And then it gets up on a ridge line. And then I have the really big climb. And back up to the tundra again. Even though I've hiked this, I've never actually seen it before because, again, it was so stormy. It was actually up here that a little further I got caught in a terrible hailstorm and got soaked and got hypothermic, and the weather was so bad behind me I had to keep going over that big climb to kind of get away from it, but it was so cold and cloudy and windy and never saw what it looked like. I remember this ridge though. I remember I had to climb up over some snow. Good, I hope this weather just holds to let me finish these climbs. All right. Still remember this ridge. It was a little bit traumatic. It's crazy how quickly storms can blow in the mountains. And that was a mornings, and I wasn't expecting storms till the afternoon based on the weather forecast. And I got up here and it had been very foggy, so I couldn't see that there was any weather coming. And I got to this point down on this ridge a little bit, and all of a sudden this horrible hailstorm blew in, strong wind, and I mean it was just terrifying. And all I could do was run over to that little bush out there and hunker down. But then I started getting too cold, so then I had to start moving again, and I made it over to some rocks that are up ahead and kind of sheltered my way into them. And then climbed. I don't even know where the climb is. I don't know what I'm climbing. I mean, it's got to be there somewhere. So I never saw it. It was all in fog and cloud. Crazy. But I remember it was a big climb. So far this weather is holding it. There's clouds, but all the rainy stuff is kind of moved away. So that's good. Okay, I think we're about to start the big climb. Still not exactly sure where it goes, but I am starting to climb up here. Well, I can see where my climb goes. Looks pretty scary. It's gonna switch back up this to the top. Woo, okay, let's get it done. Less than a mile to the top, it looks like. Well, there's my trail. I'm almost to the top, and it just thundered and it's starting to sprinkle. So I'm gonna finish as quickly as possible. I don't have much other choice. And drop down the other side, because it's a long way to get down this way. I'm up, so I just gotta get down. I think it goes over this a little and then comes down. Holy crud. Oh, why always? Oh. Boy, I totally forgot this is a double summit, so I have to go back up that little bit, not too far, before it takes me down off this mountain. Oh, I just gotta keep moving. Made it to the top, 12,865 feet. Now it's time to get down. My first little patch of snow. The weather seems to be moving off, so that is good. Whew. I don't know how slippery this is gonna be, so let me put my poles back in my hands here. But I'm almost down off of this really high mountain. I was way up there. This is pretty. I stopped to collect some water at a little stream just back a little ways and it started sprinkling on me, so rain hasn't moved out of here yet. But this looks really nice. But I should be good on water for days like this. These are really pretty too. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen these before. Don't know what they are. If anybody knows, let me know. At least it's not raining for the moment. I think what I've decided I'm gonna do is hike till about 6:30 and then call it a day. And just relax. I've done some decent miles already. I think I'm at like 21.5. So, and I think it's about probably 4:30, 4:45 now. So yeah, I'll get a decent amount of miles in. Stop a little early though. Rest up and get up and try to make some big miles tomorrow. I'd like to get as close to the Colorado Trail as possible. I don't think I'll get all the way there, but if I can get pretty close, that would be awesome. Well, there's a little lake back there. Somewhere right around here is where I'd kind of marked a potential campsite, but I'm here way earlier than I thought, so I'm gonna keep going. Whew. There's a big marshy spot out here. Well, this is Piedra Pass. I am walking across now. All right. Just climbing up through forest, mostly dead forest. Just don't want to camp around here. There is some weather back that way, but right here seems good. Here's a nice spot I could potentially camp, but ugh, bug. Still early, so I'm pretty buggy. See if I can find something else. All right, got like a rocky traverse here, a rock slide. That's over me, so I don't think I want to keep hiking. It looks like I'm going into more deadfall. There's some flat areas here, very exposed, but I don't really have a lot of options. So let me see if I can throw up my tent by these trees. I got my tent up just in time, but this is not a great spot. I didn't have any other options though. I'm in an exposed spot and this thunder and lightning is all around me, so I'm praying. Monsoon season makes it really hard to hike in the mountains, especially when your entire trail is above 11,000 feet. There was a really close lightning strike a minute ago. It was so scary. At least I'm dry. Now it's hailing hard. I hope this passes over really soon. This is where I weathered that crazy storm. The weather is still pretty yucky looking. Low clouds there, and I hear some rumbling thunder, but I just hope it moves out and it doesn't storm all night because I'm pretty exposed. There is a big tree here, but man, it's pretty around here though.